Hello everyone, in this lesson we're going to break down the song Bang Bang by Majda Sepe and try to understand the meaning behind the Slovene words. If you haven't listened to the song yet, then I suggest you do that first. It's on the same channel, so ABC Slovene along with the Slovene lyrics and English translation. Majda Sepe was a very famous Slovene singer. I'm not going to pretend to know much more than that. The song I do know, and perhaps her most well-known song, is Čez Šuštarski most. It literally means across Cobbler's Bridge. Cobbler's Bridge is one of the oldest bridges in Ljubljana, and it's in the old town close to the very city center. Čez Šuštarski most is a cover of the English Waterloo Road. And there's also a French cover called Aux Champs-Élysées, so those two may be of interest if you're English or French. You can listen to them and compare them to the Slovene version on your own. We'll, however, have a look at another song by her called Bang Bang. This song is a cover as well. It's a cover of Cher's Bang Bang or My Baby Shot Me Down. I think it's interesting to learn by listening to a cover song, since it's possibly a very good anchor point altogether if the melody is already familiar to you. Anyway, let's get right into it and go verse by verse and word by word. Ko bila sva mala še. Ko bila sva mala še. Ko means when or as. Bila sva means the two of us were. Sva is the verb to be for the present tense first person dual, so it's the two of us are, and along with bila, it's used to form the past tense. Mali, mala, malo, depending on the gender of the noun, means small or little. Še has several meanings. In this case, it means still. The first verse is literally when the two of us were still small. Sva na konjih iz polen. Sva na konjih iz polen. So, sva is the same as in the previous slide. By itself, it would form the present tense, but together with the verb that follows in the next verse, it indicates the past tense. It's the dual, so it's referring exactly to two people. Na means on. Kon means horse. Don't pronounce the J at the end of the word, so don't try to say konj, but rather kon. Na konjih is the locative plural of kon. Locative is the fifth case of the 6 Slovene grammatical cases. Is means from. It can also be used to describe what something is made of, so iz polen means of logs, made of logs. Poleno means log. In Cher's original, it's sticks, and I decided to keep that. So this verse literally says the two of us on our horses made of logs. Čez prerijo dirjala. Čez prerijo dirjala. As is the case with other prepositions, čez can be translated in a number of ways depending on how it's used in Slovene. Don't try to remember prepositions as you do nouns, for example, since they tend to change a lot and are a lot more context dependent. Prerija is prairie, and prerijo is prerija in the fourth or accusative case. Dirjati means to run very fast, or to be in a hurry, or in the case of a horse, to gallop. Dirka means a race, for example. Sva in the previous slide goes along with dirjala in this one, so sva dirjala means the two of us were galloping or riding a horse very fast. In takole streljala. In is a false friend and means and in Slovene rather than the opposite of out. Takole means like this or in this manner, but it's marked and not that commonly used. The usual way of saying like this is tako. Le can be added to a number of other words. For example, you can say tole instead of to or this, and the same goes for words like that, here, there, and so on. I find it difficult to describe the exact difference between both forms. I'd say le makes the tone lighter or less serious. It makes the context less formal. For example, let's say someone is really afraid of spiders and asks you to get rid of a small spider. In Slovene, this spider is ta pajk. But if you were to say something like, oh, this little thing, you could say a tale pajk, or even use a diminutive as well and say a tale pajkec, implying that it's a small spider and you don't know what the big deal is. Streljati means to shoot. If it's of any help, you can try remembering the related strela or lightning. And for German speakers, maybe Strahl will help you remember, since the words are related and similar in meaning. I translated this verse pretty liberally, and it literally says, and like this we were shooting. Pomeril si. Pomeril si. Pomeriti means to aim. It can also mean to measure, but it's rarely used in that meaning. The most common way of saying to measure is izmeriti. And mera, for example, means measure as a noun. Pomeril si means you aimed, referring to a male. Zadel si me. Zadel si me. Zadeti means to hit. Zadet or zadeta means high or stoned. I don't know why, but I imagine it's probably in the sense of someone being hit and acting strange or something similar. Si, or together with the pronoun ti si, means you are, so si is the R in you are. Me is the short form of mene, which is the pronoun jas or I in the accusative case. Pronouns have short forms in Slovene that are used more often than their full counterparts. Zadel u srce. Zadel u srce. Again, we have zadeti or to hit. U literally means in, and srce is heart. The whole sentence is zadel si me u srce, or if we put the pronoun in there as well to make it more like English, ti si me zadel u srce, or literally, you hit me in the heart. When forming an adjective from srce, the si turns into ch, so the adjective is srčan. For example, srčni napad, which is cardiac arrest or heart attack, or srčni kirurg, which means heart surgeon. In padla sem na tla. In padla sem na tla. As we said, in means and. Pasti means to fall. Padla sem is I fell for a female. Na means on, but it can be translated in different ways depending on the context. And tla is floor or ground. Zdaj velika sva oba. Zdaj velika sva oba. Okay, the translation here differs a lot from the Slovene. I was really into keeping the same number of syllables if possible, so I tried to make it 7 syllables here like it is in Slovene, which led to a pretty liberal translation. Zdaj means now. A more formal variant of zdaj is sedaj, so if you read sedaj somewhere, just know that it's the same as zdaj. Velik, velika, veliko means big, and when referring to a person, it can mean tall as well. Oba means both, so this line is literally now big are we both. Prosil si me za roko. Prosil si me za roko, although they pronounced it prosil si me za roko in the song. Prositi means to ask for or to request. I ask or prosim is how we say please in Slovene. However, prosim has other meanings as well. It's used after saying thank you or hvala in Slovene in the same way you'd say you're welcome in English. Also, when answering the phone in a formal way, when you don't know who's calling, you say prosim. Mene or me for short is the accusative form of the pronoun I or jas. Za is a preposition and here it means for, but as is the case with prepositions, it can have other meanings such as behind. Roka can mean both arm or hand, it depends on the context. Also, the way it's pronounced in the song, so roko, is very formal. Stress the first syllable and say roko in everyday Slovene. A word that comes to mind to help you remember roka is rokau, which means sleeve. So rokau is the part of clothing you put your roka through. Jaz pa kakor tiste dni vate sem namerila. Jaz pa kakor tiste dni vate sem namerila. Jaz is I. Pa can mean a lot of things. In this case, it serves to contrast the previous verse with this one. You asked me to marry you, but or however, I rejected you. Kakor means like or as. A more informal way of saying kakor is kot. Tisti, tista, tisto, depending on the gender of the noun, means that. We have tiste instead of tisti because it has to agree with the noun following, which is dan. Dan is day and dni is the plural of dan. Okay, vate is tricky and I can imagine pronouns are annoying when learning Slovene. In Slovene, pronouns have short forms called clerics. The problem is that the short forms are neutral and often used, and the full pronouns are marked and rarely used, mostly for emphasis. Also, to not go into too much detail, in some cases the preposition is written together with the pronoun as one word, and that's what we have with vate. Vate is v plus te and means into you or at you. Te is the short form of tebe, which is the accusative case of the personal pronoun you or ti. Basically, vate in this case is at you in aimed at you. Nameriti means to aim. We had pomeriti a couple of slides ago, remember? They're basically the same when talking about aiming a gun. I think I'd sooner go for pomeriti than nameriti in colloquial Slovene, but that varies from person to person anyway. Zadela sem. Zadela sem. As we said, zadeti means to hit, and zadet is stoned. Zadela sem means I hit for a female. In padel si. In padel si. In means and. Pasti is to fall, and padel is the masculine past participle, so padel si means you fell, referring to a male. In še enkrat. They pronounced it in the song, in še enkrat. In is and. Še can mean several things, but here it means more. Enkrat means once or one time, so še enkrat is one more time. Krat means times, as in 5 times 5 is 25, or 5 krat 5 je 25. To igra je bila. To igra je bila. Ta, to, depending on the gender of the noun, means this. That's if it precedes a noun as in this computer, this book, or this tree. If, however, you want to say this is big and you have any of the 3 words in mind, then you always say to. So even though igra or game is feminine in Slovene and you'd say ta igra if you wanted to say this game, you have to use to in the case of to igra je bila. To remember igra, you can try remembering that igrati se means to play. And igrišče means a children's playground or playing field or whatever the word is that designates a surface on which you play a particular sport, since it's, for example, court in basketball. Je bila is the verb to be in the past tense for a feminine noun, and the masculine would be bil. Also, the word order of this sentence is marked. You'd normally say to je bila igra and not to igra je bila. Dragi, čuj, kako ljudje mimo oken se mude. Dragi, čuj, kako ljudje mimo oken se mude. Drag, draga, drago means expensive. It's also a term of endearment, so it's like saying my dear. Čuj is the imperative of čuti, which means to hear, so you're telling someone to listen. It's almost never used in standard Slovene, and you're better off remembering slišati, which is the common verb to hear. However, I think čuti is used quite commonly in Styria, so in Maribor, for example, but I'm not sure, so don't take my word for it. Kako means how. Ljudje is the plural of človek or human, and as you can see, it's irregular, since the words are completely different. Mimo is a preposition and means by. Okno means window, and oken is the genitive plural of okno. Mimo oken is past the windows. If you leave the n out, you get oko, which means eye, and the words have the same origin. A window or okno is an eye or oko of a house. It's similar in English, where window is made up of wind and eye, and if you imagine windows without glass, they're pretty much just holes resembling eyes through which the wind blows. Muditi se as used here is very rare, and mude is the archaic way of saying mudio. Basically, muditi se in that sense means that one is staying, walking, or lingering in one place. However, muditi se used with the dative case is very common. It means being in a hurry. Petru se mudi means Peter is in a hurry, and Petru is Peter in the dative case. Streljajo se prav zares. Streljajo se prav zares. When we add se to streljati or to shoot, it becomes reflexive. So if we say streljajo se, it means they're shooting at each other or each other. Prav can mean several things. It means correct, so the opposite of wrong or narobe in Slovene. It can also mean pretty, as in pretty good, to express a high degree of something. Zares is literally for real, since za is for, and res is true or really. So zares means actually or really, and prav zares emphasizes this even more, so it's like saying they're really shooting each other. Resnica, for example, means truth, and resničnost reality. Tu je čudna igra vmes. Tu je čudna igra vmes. Tu means here. A more common way of saying here is tukaj. Je means he, she, or it is. Čuden, čudna, čudno means strange or weird. And as we said, igra means game. Vmes means between, but you can't really translate the Slovene phrase with between. Tu je čudna igra vmes means something along the lines of there's a strange game at play here. Šel je in ne vem zakaj. Šel je in ne vem zakaj. Šel is the masculine past participle of iti or to go. Šel je means he went. In means and. Ne on its own means no, and it can be used with a verb to negate it. Vedeti is to know, and vem is I know. Zakaj means why. It's easy to remember once you break it down. Za means for. Kaj means what. So in colloquial English, you can say what for instead of why. And to get the Slovene why, just switch the words. What for what. Za kaj, zakaj. Čula sem korake le. Čula sem korake le. Again, čuti is very rare in standard Slovene and Slovene as spoken in Ljubljana, and as we said, the normal way of saying to hear is slišati. Čula sem is I heard for a female, and you'd usually say slišala sem. Korake is the plural accusative of korak, which is a step. Le means only. And the much more common way of saying only is samo. Tam pri vratih je obstal. Tam pri vratih je obstal. Tam means there. Pri is next to or by. Vrata means door. It's a noun that can only be used in the plural. So, if you want to say the door is big, you have to say vrata so velika, which is literally the doors are big, referring to a single door. Je is he, she, it is. And along with obstal, which is the masculine past participle of obstati, we have he stopped. Obstati isn't the common way of saying to stop. It's related to stati, which means stand. So obstati is to stop only when saying to stop in your tracks or something like that. Basically to not move and be on your feet. Dvignil je roko v pozdrav. Dvignil je roko v pozdrav. Dvigniti means to raise or lift. And dvigalo, for example, is elevator. Roka is arm or hand, and roko is the accusative of roka. U means in, and it can also be used to describe why or to what end something is done, and that's how it's used here with u pozdrav. Pozdrav means greeting, or in this case, farewell. U pozdrav is therefore to say farewell. Ustrelil je. Ustrelil je. Ustreliti is to shoot, and I added his gun to make it 4 syllables long. Ustrelil je means he shot. In padla sem. In padla sem. In is and. Pasti is to fall, and padla sem means I fell, referring to a woman. Again, sem is I am, and together with the participle it forms the past tense. So this verse is literally and I fell, but I kept I hit the ground from the original English version. Zadel me je. Zadel me je. Like we said, zadeti means to hit. And me is the short form of mene. Mene is the pronoun I or jaz in the accusative. Naravnost v srce. Naravnost v srce. Naravnost means straight. If you ask someone for directions in Slovenia and you have to go forward, you'll get a naravnost as part of the answer. Here it's used as directly or right. The bullet struck me right in my heart. U is in, and as we said, srce is heart. And we've finally come to the end of the song. That's it for this lesson. Hopefully you found it useful. Feel free to give me feedback via any of the online options. Check the description for more information, and as always, good luck, study hard, and aim for the stars.